You just got to hang around like Atlanta did last Monday. You got to hang around like Philadelphia did with the Saints. You got to hang around like the Rams did. They were down 21-7, 24-14, and they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. But my big takeaway on this, and it's like a $400 million takeaway, is I finally get Brock Purdy. He's never going to be the biggest or most impressive, but mobility, he's more of an athlete than I give him credit for. Their special teams lost that game. Kyle Shanahan, this team had no focus late. Special teams, the Rams take it seriously, and the Niners don't seem to, and that was the difference in the game. But there was no CMC, no Christian McCaffrey, no Debo, no Kittle, no problem. Jawan Jennings, who, by the way, is the best number 3 receiver on the planet. I love this kid, and he is – Brandon Ayuk – spent the entire offseason complaining about not getting paid when he had a year left on his contract. He now is a non-factor. Jennings is a much better player, or at least right now more valuable and more aligned with Brock Purdy. But they're going to have to make a decision in a year on Brock Purdy, and you're not going to pay him $60 million a year, and I don't think he would demand that. But the kid can play. What do you want to say? He's smart. He's accurate. He moves much better than I gave him credit for. Bo Nix in Denver, same thing. You're like, this kid moves. This kid moves really well. He moves around the field well. And here's the thing, is that Shanahan, he gets these leads. This is Kyle's. This is no longer a trend. This is kind of reality. In big games, Kyle gets these leads. And I think a lot of it is he is so good on the script. He's got that play sheet, and that's his play sheet. That's his Bible. And Kyle's great at it. But that team lost focus. The Rams' culture with McVay is outstanding. There is just a ton of fight. It's their biggest rival. SoFi was 60 to 65% Niner fans. It was an incredible environment. And I thought Brock Purdy his team let him down. We've always wondered if Brock Purdy is like the liability. No. It was the coach. They had 111 yards in penalties. It was Ronnie Bell dropping a ball. It was special teams. That's Brock Purdy. His team let him down. He carried the team. Jennings carried the team. And yes, some of it's scripted. They got a big lead. Kyle's teams tend to get leads. But, I mean, I could pay him now. I'd be okay with it. I don't want to pay him Josh Allen money. I'd pay him. He's never going to be the biggest, the strongest. Kid can play. Here's Kyle after.
It seemed like Brock played his ass off from what I saw. He made a bunch of big plays. He took some good shots down the field. When stuff wasn't there, he did a hell of a job scrambling, making some off-schedule plays. And from what I saw, I thought he played his ass off.
Okay, let's talk Kansas.
Okay. So listen. Let's be very, 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 very clear. Brock Purdy was the best quarterback of week 3. Okay? And he was down his Avengers, his weapons, his everything. The thing that everyone says that Brock Purdy can't do, not only did he succeed, but he was literally the best quarterback in the NFL in week 3. It's not even up for debate. Even PFF has it there, okay? So, yeah. He's literally playing better. Everyone defended why Patrick Mahomes' numbers went down, okay? Because, well, he doesn't have weapons, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. But now, Brock Purdy doesn't have the weapons, and yet his numbers are just as high. He's doing just as great. He's being just as great. What he did against the Rams was unbelievable. It's more than just some of the numbers, because we could say, oh, he was 23 for 30 or 22 for 30, 292 yards, 9.7 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns. He had a 137 rating. We could say all that. The fact that he only had 1 sack. He rushed for 41, diving headfirst for first downs, evading sacks, making huge key situational throws on the run, keeping them in field goal range, getting them in field goal range. He put the 49ers in multiple opportunities to win the game. Multiple opportunities. Okay? He escaped the sack just to be able to put them in field goal range to ice the game. Then the kicker missed. He had another play where he threw a dart for 40 yards. Okay? An unbelievable pass that would have also been to win the game. Dropped. I mean, like, it was not on him. Right, and now Jennings looks elite. Now Jennings is like was like the best wide receiver of week 3, and it had nothing to do with Brock Purdy. Jennings definitely made a huge catch, right? That was definitely Jennings, ability to catch the ball, right? Like, he deserves the credit for that. But all the other plays were really a combination of Shanahan, of course, and Purdy, putting him in a position to succeed, in a position to have his 11 receptions, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He wasn't throwing little 9-yard passes to Jennings, and who then just took it to the house. It was Purdy just throwing with pinpoint accuracy, buying time in the pocket, moving in the pocket. So it's just, my God. He threw a 20-yard pass in triple coverage, and it was perfect. Sanchez was like stunned. He was like, he threw it into a defensive meeting. He didn't even know what to say. And he was saying throws like that need to be exact. They need to be exact. And yet Purdy did it like it was nothing. That's on Purdy. That's not Shanahan. That's not the receiver. That's on Purdy. Give him the credit. Give him the flowers. Give him the praise. We'll go on a 10-minute video about how Purdy's not that good. And then when Purdy exceeds expectations and does unbelievable, we're like, yeah, he was pretty good. Anyway. And it's like, no, it's not, you can't do that. Come on. He was really, really unbelievable. He was not while they lost at all. At all. The one pass that he threw to Jennings was wide open. And I think Mark Sanchez talked about this. It was because of Purdy. It was because Purdy you kept the safety away with his eyes. It wasn't just because of a great, play call from Shanahan. It wasn't just a collapse on defense from the Rams. It was Purdy making a play, and I talked about this before. Making a play in the pocket, being a playmaker within the pocket. We think you could only make a play when you do dive headfirst, when you are as big, as strong as Josh Allen, right? Sometimes you're being a playmaker by doing exactly what Brock Purdy did, by being able to own the offense in a way that now has a player wide open. That was Brock Purdy being a playmaker from the pocket, and it just gets overlooked. And if you look at a highlight like that, you're just going to say, oh, that guy was wide open. What were they doing defensively? Oh, Shanahan's a genius. He schemed that guy wide open. No, that was Brock Purdy. And it has to be recognized. It has to be acknowledged. And fortunately, Sanchez did point it out, but I don't think it gets pointed out enough in any of these shows and conversations. I mean, he had 3 guys. There was this one play where he had 3 guys that were about to sack him. Like, literally, it was just like, he was just got his head knocked off. And he throws a 30-yard strike to Ayuk for a first down. I mean, like, it was like a cartoon. It was just like 3 oversized, monsters coming at Purdy, and for him to now throw that ball on his back foot, and it was a perfect pass. Perfect pass. We talk about how important it is to be against pressure, against the blitz, and all of that, right? That's when we always kind of call out. We always talk about, oh, these other quarterbacks are so good, but you put some pressure on them, they crumble. Well, then again, here's Brock Purdy succeeding, and again, Shanahan gets credit because Shanahan does. A lot of times, it's definitely an interesting balance between the coach and the quarterback when being able to help out with blitz, right? The coach definitely puts the quarterback in a position to be like, this is what you're going to do with the ball in these types of situations. But you still need the quarterback to be able to execute, to not panic, to be able to handle the moment, and Purdy does. So again, that's definitely a combination. Yeah, again, even his one touchdown, I think it was his 3rd touchdown to Jennings, the 40-yard pass. It was in rhythm, perfect timing, leading his receiver, anticipation. We see plays like that. We see throws like that missed all the time around in the NFL right now. We do. We're seeing quarterbacks miss those plays, whether it's Derek Carr, whether it's C.J. Stroud, whether it's these younger quarterbacks like Caleb Williams. We see those passes missed. We take some of those passes for granted and just say, oh, that guy's open, he's on the run. You just, it's easy. But we see those plays missed all the time. It's how the 49ers lost in the Super Bowl years ago with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? And again, those passes are going to get missed. You're not going to hit them all the time. But it's the fact that if Brock Purdy misses a pass like that, it's magnified. It's emphasized. He is the problem. But then when he makes the pass, it's just like, yeah, he did it. It's like, where are you looking? I'm right here. Look me in the eyes. Admit it. Admit it. He plays really great. He's done everything that you've asked him to do. And the other thing, this is just I'm now extra angry about it. And I love Shanahan. Shanahan's the top coach in the NFL. And I said this before this game. I said this in a video previously. You can check it. I said, I thought Brock Purdy should have been more mobile in the Super Bowl. I thought when they realized what he could do against the Packers and the Lions, this is going to be such a wild card that the Chiefs are not really going to game plan for or expect. And all he does is have to be mobile in a way that now keeps them on their toes. He doesn't have to run like Lamar. He doesn't have to dive headfirst into, defensive linemen. Like, he just has to make everyone feel like, whoa, okay, this is part of the game. And it wasn't part of the game, right? And that's like, that could be the difference. That's the difference between winning a Super Bowl and not. Like, what Brock Purdy was able to do with his legs was exactly what I've been saying he should do. And what I thought he should have done in the Super Bowl. And that Shanahan, that is on Shanahan. I understand why he didn't. I understand. So it's just, it's not, this isn't to hold anyone's feet to the fire here, but it did personally for me stand out. And yeah, Brock Purdy did what people said he can't. And he did it to the moon. Okay? To the moon. He deserves praise for this game. He deserves praise. And he's now deserves the benefit of the doubt when he has a bad game, when he turns the ball over, when he throws an interception. Just like we offer it to Mahomes, just like we offer it to Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and any of these other top quarterbacks. Seems like Brock Purdy never gets the benefit of the doubt of a bad game, a bad drive, a bad throw, a bad moment. It's always used as a way to be like, I told you he's not that good. But no one does that for Mahomes. No one does that for Burrow. They do it for Josh Allen because they hate Josh Allen because Josh Allen is apparently the biggest rival to Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes fans are very sensitive about it. But Brock Purdy deserves now where if he does something wrong, makes a bad play, a bad read, a fumble, whatever, that happens. It's football. It's football. Of course he's going to throw interceptions. Of course he's going to fumble. Of course he's going to miss a guy. But it's not the representation of who he is as a quarterback now. Whew. I'm excited to see what Nick Wright has to say about this. I was expecting a lot more praise from Colin, honestly. But, we still really can't have a true, honest conversation about Brock. 292 yards, 3 touchdowns. Someone in the comment section said, "Oh, he lost to the Rams. I guess he's not that good." And I'm just like, I don't even know what to tell you, man. I can't even. I got really nothing to say to that comment. In the comment section, like all I did was I was just like, he was literally the best quarterback of Week 3. That he had nothing to do with that loss, like literally nothing. And it's further proof that you just can't go by wins and losses as a quarterback stat. You just can't. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Are you confident that Brock Purdy can lead San Francisco back to a Super Bowl? Are you impressed by his game against the Rams? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.